welcome back to Inside Eastern Utah. We're here with Julie Rozier, who works for the Southeastern Utah
Association of Local Governments.
Thanks.
That is a mouthful.
The SEUALG, right? Okay.
That fits on the business card much nicer.
Yes. And we are going to talk about a program, well, it's an initiative.
Correct.
That I love. As soon as I heard about it from Jerry Gamber, I was so excited about it. And it's finally time that this is going to be launching pretty soon in our community. It's an intergenerational poverty initiative that you guys have received quite a significant grant to help.
Correct.
And we're going to let you tell us about it. It's called the Circles program. So
Yes.
tell us
Okay.
what that entails and what you guys are going to be doing. And
Okay. So last fall we wrote a grant. We heard about Circles, and it is an initiative to help families get out of poverty. So we started to learn about it. We went to see it in action, and we were just thrilled.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the programs that we have in our community, they're much needed, but they're just Band-Aids.
Yep.
They don't actually teach and help educate.
I agree,
families.
and that's why I'm super excited about this one. I know the Lieutenant Governor has that intergenerational poverty initiative that he's
Correct.
working hard on, and I'm part of the CARE Coalition, and we kind of swallowed that up into the CARE Coalition because a lot of the outcome behaviors for what we were working on with substance use prevention aligned very nicely with the outcome behaviors we wanted with that intergenerational poverty initiative. So I was excited about that, but it was a little $10,000 grant, and we brought it in, and then I heard about the Circles program, and I thought, oh my gosh, that is what we need. That's
Yeah.
what this community needs, because we
Absolutely.
are really high in comparison to the rest of the state for intergenerational poverty in Carbon
That's
County.
correct. Carbon County is has the second highest rate of intergenerational poverty in
Yeah.
the state.
Wow.
So we need to do something about it.
Yes, so tell us. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I didn't
no.
mean it.
So Circles is an initiative, like we talked about, to help families get out of poverty. And how it's done is right now even with our own agency and some of our other partners, we are finding families, like having families referred who are living in poverty. You have to have a child to participate in Circles because we are funded currently by the TANF program. So they need to make an 18-month commitment, and then we will start classes in September. They'll come to, at first, they'll start 12 weeks. And after 12 weeks of completing classes, they'll graduate and become a Circle leader. That's a really powerful thing for them to be, to know that you
leader,
are a leader in
yeah.
this community and you can make a difference.
So what will their classes entail?
So the first classes just have like where we talk about SMART goals. You know, we go on to do resumes, we do asset building, credit repair, debt reduction, budgeting, things like that.
And so these are free classes for those that attend, is that
Correct.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
If you're accepted into the program.
yes.
If you're accepted into the program. So on that, after you graduate and become a Circle leader, then you are then matched with 2 allies. And an ally is essentially a mentor, but they don't want to use the word mentor so it doesn't create a hierarchy.
Right.
It's described as an intentional friendship. The allies are there to kind of help support the families. The families will set their own SMART goals on things that they think are holding them back or keeping them in poverty, and the allies are just there to help support them, giving them advice, ideas, just being a friend through it. Circles is not a program like we talked about, it's an initiative, but it's based off a lot of the teachings in Bridges Out of Poverty. One of the quotes that I love in Bridges is no significant learning can occur without a significant relationship. That was by Dr. James Comer. And that's really a profound statement. A
Yeah.
lot of these families will need that positive mentorship to help guide them and support them along the way.
I want to take just a second and plug that book. If you haven't read it, Bridges Out of Poverty, it is fascinating and it is amazing to learn, and
It
it
is.
helps you look at poverty in a completely different perspective.
It does,
So-
and it really helps break down any stereotypes or
Absolutely.
prejudices that we might have
Yeah.
for families living in poverty.
Yeah. So
Correct.
if you haven't read it, read it because it's a huge problem in our community. I don't know if problem is even the right word I should use. It's just a situation that we have that we'd like to change, and that
And if it can open up if everyone's eyes can be opened and understand poverty better
Yes.
and have a greater understanding of why it exists and what we need to do about it,
Yes.
it's going to make the community stronger.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Certainly. So how
So-
many people are you guys accepting into this first 12-week course?
So we're starting 2 weeks from tonight on September 6th, and weekly classes will be held at Pinnacle Academy. One thing that I just love is that dinner will be provided for everyone, every week, and
Yes.
also childcare programming. And I call it programming is because the kids learn just a little bit about what mom and dad are learning about, and then they go
good.
on to do
Yeah.
activities. And
Well, that's important because that could maybe be a hindrance for some people if they
Sure.
didn't have someone to
That's-
watch the
yeah.
kids when they
Mhm.
wanted to come, stuff like that.
absolutely, and that's why it's designed that way. Because what happens when you all come as a group and you eat together? There's bonding.
Mhm.
And then when you can bring your children and they can be part of it, and it will be a fun thing
Mm-hmm.
for them as well. So we would like to start between around 12 families. Right now we have 10 individuals,
Uh-huh.
and we're in the process of interviewing a couple more today.
Great.
And then as we go along, we also we'll need more allies.
I was
We're
just
asking.
going to say,
Mhm.
how can the community get involved? How can someone watching say, oh, that's a great program, I want to be a part of it?
Sure.
How do they do that?
So the best thing to do is to give either myself or one of my team a call, and we can provide that number. And then we can meet with them and just discuss circles and how it works. We need several more allies, at least probably 10 to 12 more. And then we also need people in the community to help support our resource teams. Our resource teams, as these families go along, oftentimes a family that's in poverty, one crisis it can be a ripple down effect. That's kind of how we describe these resource teams. They're there to help support and build them up, whether it's the community team that will help to ensure that dinner will be ready and provided and everything's set up and there's people there to greet, or to help with the childcare programming to make sure it's going smooth. Jobs and education is a big one. So as these circle leaders go through circles, and maybe they're struggling with a job or don't have a great job, we're working with different and local businesses in our community to say, hey, we have a circle leader that's working really hard and diligently to get out of poverty. If you have a job opening, would you be willing to let them,
Sure.
to interview them and give them a chance?
Well, this sounds like a great way for no matter what your role is in the community, if you're a business leader or a homemaker, whatever you're doing,
Absolutely.
there's a way to get involved and to help from different areas
Yes.
of this.
And that's
Absolutely.
how change is going to happen. I think we all need to get involved. We all need
We
to
do.
recognize that this is something we need to help, and we need to do it. We need to not just sit back
We
and
do.
say, oh, they're doing it, they're taking care of it. Because I think that's what has happened and why it is such a problem. Everybody thinks somebody else is going to step up and do it.
But it takes the support of the
Yeah, it
community. And I'm a quote person. I'm going to throw one more out from Bridges. I love this one. It's by a lady by the name of Lila Watson. She's an Aboriginal woman from Australia. And she says, if you have come to help me, you can go home again. But if you have come to see my struggles as your own, then perhaps we can work together. That just encompasses circles completely.
Absolutely, it does.
It's going to take the community to make this work and for it to be successful. The goal of Circles is to get families out of poverty at 200% of the federal poverty guidelines. That's going to take some work, and it's going to take some support from many people.